All right, today's we're going in a slightly different order, but I didn't want to skip out on this because, well, I'll spend a lot of time without going outside, and I feel like that's not a recipe for a good day. So just because things are late or different doesn't mean we skip out on things that are good. And when I say we, I mean me, because that's how I refer to myself a lot of the time. More when I'm by myself than anything, which is ridiculous, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so my buddy was able to go lifting this morning earlier than later, and so I kind of adjusted my whole thing because I really like being able to go into the gym and lift with someone else. So that was good. So that was out of the way, but then also it just threw off the whole. It adjusted. Let's not say threw off. It changed. It changed. So dramatic. When something changes, I'm like, it threw everything off. I had a whole plan and it threw everything off. No, it just changed it. So now I'm adjusting and doing a walk now. And then I figured out I want to try and get there's a few bug fixes that I want to get pushed out for the app today and get things working better. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get that done. Maybe I can make it to I don't know if I'm going to make it to the ocean tomorrow or not. If this meeting, I'm supposed to go to a thing in the morning potentially, which I haven't heard back. I haven't heard confirmation on it. Which at this point, part of me would like to wait for another week, but I also know I have a deadline approaching and I need to get this stuff. I kind of don't have time to be like waiting around. So it will be easy to accept. It will be easy to accept whether the meeting happens or not. Because even if I don't actually feel prepared, I don't really have time to be messing around. He says as he goes on a walk in the middle of the day. But yeah, I would like to get back to the ocean tomorrow. Or soon. It's just been too long. And like, what are we doing if we can't go see the water every once in a while? Like, what's the point of being alive if you can't do something fun? I don't know. I don't think there is a point to being alive. The comment says, what projects are you working on these days? I'm so glad you asked. There's actually a link in the stream right now, which is basically the only thing that I'm working on. Not basically, it is the only thing I'm working on. I've had some other tours that I've had to, I've had some things been asked about that are just paused and I haven't taken yet because I'm working only on this app. And it's important. I think it's most important. Have you tried it yet? You should check it out if you haven't. I'm approaching getting to the begging stages where it's like, people be like, what are you working on? And like, what are you doing creatively? And I'll be like, this app. This is all I'm doing. And it's cool. It's cool. I mean, right now I'm out taking a walk. But when I'm not out taking a walk, oh hell yeah! Comment says I saw it but haven't downloaded. Will do now. I think you may find it useful, and also anything you don't like, please let me know. It's really helpful. It's actually the most helpful thing, is to just like anything where you're like, this isn't really that cool, or this isn't for me, or why did he do it like this, or I wish this could be better. All that stuff's really helpful, because then I just fix it for, like, you're not going to be the only one if you have thoughts. But all that said, a lot of people are getting some value out of it and find it helpful. And I definitely find it helpful. I don't know if you saw, but like I've been working on, so one of the things, and it's just kind of like a stupid goal, but I've been working on trying to get a muscle up. And I'm kind of getting pretty okay at it. Like I can't actually like do one legitimately, but I can almost, kind of. And that's literally, this is the thing, is that app has, if someone gave me like an exercise program or any of these things to like make my life better and do this stuff, I would never have. I never would have stuck with it. Frankly, anytime anyone tells me to do anything, a muscle up, that's when you like grab, if there's like one of those pull-up bars, and you grab the pull-up bar, and then not only do you pull yourself up, but then once you get there, then you like push up off of it, so you're over top of the bar. This comment says, hi from Australia, just joined. What's our topic of convo? Well, I was just talking about, the app that I've been working on. There's a link to it in the bottom if you haven't checked it out and downloaded it. But that's basically all I'm working on at this point. I'm not doing other audio work because this is important, so all my energy is just going into this. So also, if anyone knows like ways to help, knows about other people that can help me develop apps, because I'm just doing this all on my own at this point, I will take any help I can get. I'm trying to get 1 million users by August 6th. Eventually, I'm trying to get 1 billion users. So that's the long-term goal. I'm trying to get 1 million by August 6th. And anyway, that's what's going. That's what we're doing. But the whole point of this is like me getting better at like, so I'm like trying to like I'm getting better. I'm trying to get this like muscle up goal, which is basically, this is what we're talking about, doing a pull up. And then once you finish doing a pull up on a bar, then actually pushing yourself up beyond, like above it. And doing any type of exercise goals, or really just taking care of myself in general. I'm not like, I literally, straight up. So I find value in taking care of other people. It's really hard to take care of myself, and to a fault, like to a glaring fault, where I'll try and fix everyone else's issues because it's very easy to see what's wrong with everyone else and how stupid they're being. And meanwhile, I would just be like chain smoking cigarettes and not eating properly and not taking care of my professional career and all kinds of things. So that's one of the other cool things about, I'm trying to cross the road. That's one of the other cool things about this app, is it basically gave me a system for learning to check in with myself and take care of myself and do things that are valuable and good for me, where all of a sudden I'm like kind of getting in better physical shape. I can kind of like move towards goals, and it feels good. There's a comment here. Okay, serious question. The app is meant to help deal with executive dysfunction, like the inability to do tasks. But the app itself is a task. How do you motivate yourself to do the app? This is a great question. And I wouldn't have actually said necessarily the app is meant to help deal with executive dysfunction, because those are too big of words. This is the thing about the app that I found. The comment says, you look great, bud. Thank you, I appreciate that. This is the thing about the app, just totally in general, where everything about it is optional. Everything, well, this is as far as I'm concerned, everything about life is optional. Anytime people like, I have to do this something, I don't know if you've seen that old Louis C.K. bit, it's like, well, you can just kill yourself. No one can make you do anything. But even with the app, on a lighter note, you don't have to do anything in it. It's just there. Everything's optional. Nothing is actually told to you. You basically just get to try out some things where it's like, okay, this is the current state of my life. This is how it is. Are there ways, are there things, ideally, it's like looking through what makes a good day for me. And so if you can go through and try and figure out some elements of what could make a good day for you, then basically you have this, you don't have a blank document anymore. If your brain starts to spin, you have a rough, it's kind of like getting ChatGPT to give you do a rough draft of an email for you or something. Past you helps to make up a few good ideas of what makes things good. And then you get to try those things out and see how it works. And so some things I found, things that help make a good day, actually don't make a difference. And then some things do. You find some things that do. But here's the thing is, in terms of dealing with the executive dysfunction part, when I'm spinning or have a hard time doing tasks, there's an awareness part of my brain that knows, because I helped put something together, and this is the thing about the app is, I didn't make something, it doesn't tell you to do anything. You decide what's good for you. And once you know things work, if you do start to spin out or feel unmotivated or whatever else, and at least this is for me because my brain can go everywhere, what will happen though is I have this little reminder in my brain that just kind of dings off, and it's like, well, you also have a list of things you know that can help. You have a list of things that that apparently past Justin, who knows you pretty well and knows what I struggle with and don't find useful. This comment says, I like that you put creatively fulfilling things on there rather than just work out. Hell yeah. Well, because also, why? And I will get caught up in work and doing things right and doing things the right way. And here's the thing, is over time, also you can search through, anyone can make their own ingredients, by the way. Different people have put ones on that I would have never thought of. And this is the whole thing too, is you can put whatever ingredients you want. Whatever feels good, whatever you think could be part of a good day for you. And if you want to, you can share those things so they go into the public catalog, so other people can get ideas about oh, actually, that is something that's in one of my good days, and I kind of want to try that out. Yeah, so some of the, okay, check this out. And then over time, what's cool about this is the analysis will kick in over time. And you can, whether you do it good or do it bad. I need to put more stuff from when I first started doing this years and years ago. Because basically, when I first started doing this, 2017, 2018, kind of a mess. I was, and the system was. I maybe only got 30 or 40 times. Actually, I think my first year, I got 26 times in the whole year. Because I didn't feel like checking in, because again, it's hard to do the executive dysfunction. I'm learning words, you're teaching me words. It's so tricky to get through. I did it terribly because, I just did it because I couldn't do it. I just didn't have the ability. And the coolest thing about it is, even doing it terribly, those 26 times gave me such a different awareness that honestly, it just made it worth it to go back and try the app. There's a comment that says, it's hard to motivate yourself to motivate yourself. Yeah. Yes. Also, and this is the thing where it's like, fuck motivation. Fuck motivation. Like, if I needed someone to motivate me, like, I know, this is the thing too where like, people tell you all the things that are like good to do. And also, anytime people tell me, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I know already. I know. Fuck off. Like, I know. Fuck off. I know, yes, if I did all this stuff, my life wouldn't be a disaster. But I apparently can't do that. Actually, I'm not always that aggressive. I don't need to just tell people to fuck off all the time. But someone like the other day, and I actually appreciated this, someone was like, you can do better than chicken nuggets. And I was kind of just like, respectfully, no, I can't. What I can actually like repeatably do, like everyone's different. And what I've found is like, even in my life, even going to the gym now, there are some days I will go and then I just leave. Or yesterday, I went to go do a whole set of exercises, and I think I did one set. And I'm like, you know what? That's enough for today. And the point is, doing it sloppy and not perfect and however I want to do it is still way better than doing nothing. And so the whole trying to do things good kind of just kills the whole motivation stuff. And so it's like, forget about doing anything. The idea for me is it's like, if you're not going to kill yourself, why don't we just do something? So let's do something. And then also, you basically just get this little like tablet, basically. But a way to just keep track of like, all right, so now we're just like playing the game now. Apparently I want to be here, not enough to die today. So let's try some stuff out. There's a comment here. Also, there's a comment earlier that said, I'm Catholic, my ideas are bad. No, that's just what they tell you. Sounds like you're a great Catholic. Also, I was raised in religion, and yeah, they want to tell you that, yeah, I'm bad just for being here and going to hell. Just for being here. This comment says, it's born routine is what you're saying. I think you're just smarter than me because I don't know what that means. It's basically, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of a way to like trick yourself. I'm going to go this way. It's kind of a way to trick yourself into a routine. Because like, I don't want to be, here's the thing too, is I don't want to be told that something's useful. But if I do things a few times and it feels good, all of a sudden I don't need to be like motivated to do it. Because it's like I know I like Milano cookies. Oh, it's about routine. Kind of. All right, but here's the thing though too. Today, my routine is different. I normally get up in the morning, I have a whole routine of how I do things, and it does help me feel good. My buddy was able to go to the gym earlier, and I like lifting with my buddy. And so one, it's doing something with my friend. That's a big one for me. And also getting good exercise in. So it's kind of like a twofer. So I adjusted my whole morning routine, which kind of would throw off a lot of things, and it can kind of make me feel dysregulated. But again, I have this whole like list in front of me, and so it's like, it's kind of just an idea of like, getting back to the recipe idea, if I look in the fridge and it's stocked with all good ingredients, I can kind of make whatever I want in a day. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing if I have all good things in there. And I can put them in any different way. And shit's pretty good. I don't have to do it the same way every time. It's just like finding good things that I know, if this happens in my day, I have a good day. Or the odds of it go way up. Apparently dressing so I like myself is one of the hugest ones. So a lot of the times, I know, I learned over time, because you can kind of keep track of, at the end of the day, there's things where I can like check in and be like, okay, what do you think had the biggest impact if I did have a good day, or if I had a favorite day? And so like I kind of know where it's like, if I do something that scares me, that's basically a good day for me. if I did something that I felt like was really scary to me, I just feel fulfilled or it feels good. Talk to someone you enjoy or eat with people you enjoy. That's a big one for me. I love that a lot. Even if I don't always want to do it, if I do it, I feel good. What's crazy about the app is, and something I had no idea of, is it showed me like on my favorite days, because I mostly just have good days at this point, but it said the difference between my favorite days and my good days, 100% of the time on my favorite days, 100% of the time was dress so you like yourself. And it's only about 55% of the time on my good days. I would have never thought, like, obviously, yes, you know, it's like, okay, it's good when I like dress good. I know that I feel a little better. I had no idea, though. It's basically like a 45% differential where, oh, if I take a few minutes and actually dress so I actually like myself, and again, correlation and causation, who knows? We don't know that that's like 100% just because of that. But the fact remains is that on all of my favorite days, every single one of them, I had crossed off dress so you like yourself. And I don't think of myself as a clothes person. I kind of just don't give a shit. And apparently, it does also make a big deal. For me. And so other people's are different. Like one thing, and I'd try out for a while, I thought having sex this is one of my biggest ones. I thought like, well, obviously like, you know, having sex is good. Like that, obviously that's in everyone's good day, or at least definitely is in mine. And I found out over time, this was actually a few years back, and so this isn't a recent example. I found out over time that actually there's no correlation between when I have a good day or a bad day and if I had sex or not. Because I can have lots of bad days. And anyway, it was like this, apparently, obviously, I still like having sex, but it doesn't correlate to whether I have a good or bad day. So, dressing so you like yourself, for me, that was a total surprise. That helped from the app where I had this new awareness. And so I've been making a bigger effort recently, when I actually am wearing clothes, to like try and dress a little nicer. And like, so I used to just wear t-shirts a lot. It sounds so boring to talk about, but like I used to just wear t-shirts a lot because they're comfortable, and like baggy ones because I don't like things in my armpits. And so I'm still trying to be mindful of that, but it's like, all right, Justin, let's try a little bit harder. Let's just put a little bit more effort and intention in, because it does seem to pay off. So that's a more recent one. What's another recent example? I mean, the biggest one for years now has always been, and it's one of the hardest ones for me to do, and probably always will be, is do your number one thing to do today. And so there's this one ingredient in the app that's called set a direction, and I try and do it every morning. But basically it just tries to help me figure out what would be 3 wins for the day. Because if I do my wins, like if I get any of them, or all of them especially, the day's generally pretty good. Because I guess also a big thing for me is what makes a bad day for me is if at any point during the day I'm beating the shit out of myself. Like if my brain is just kicking the shit out of me. And like over time of using the app, I also try to think about, well, like what makes a bad day? And that was a whole other side of things. I came up with all this just going through therapy. But what's funny is I never came up with any like specifics of what makes a bad day, like any like actual activities, and I probably could think of some. But what I found occupies a bad day for me are guilt and resentment. Those, for whatever reason, fuck me up. And it's like, okay, let's just avoid those. Let's avoid those because I don't want to have bad days. So a lot of that stuff too comes down to like having difficult conversations. Like telling people, nah, I don't want to do that. Doing the uncomfortable things, doing the harder things. And here's the thing is all of a sudden the motivation goes away from like having to do something that I don't want to do or going to the gym, I start to build up enough proof because I've spent like enough days doing this, where like a naturally lazy person that just wants to like honestly kind of just smoke cigarettes and just kind of do whatever the fuck I want. And I like doing things, but it's kind of like a mess. I just do things messy. I do things messy. Over enough time of doing it, of just kind of like loosely keeping track badly, the patterns just kind of emerge. And it's like, oh, like at this point I get up and what works for me is I found like, I try and get up around 7 a.m. I meditate for a few minutes, in the mornings most days. I'm boring myself talking about this, frankly, because I don't think it's very, like the specifics are not that interesting, but what I found is, even if I don't like those habits seem lame to me, and also I have better days when I do them. And I don't care if anyone else does them. I don't care if anyone else likes when I do them or thinks I'm cool or not. I found that like, oh, I mean, I like having good days. I like having good days. I kind of don't give a shit about what you think. And so I'm just going to do the things that help me have good days. And then I get to feel good. I don't know. There's a comment here that says, I don't want to lose myself. Probably I'm just too old. Well, if you think about it that way, I don't think, like, what self are you talking about losing? I don't know. I don't think there's any, like, how are you going to lose yourself? I kind of actually was scared about, like, stopping if I, before I quit cigarettes, I thought I needed to, like, needed to smoke to, like, make good music or doing the drugs or whatever else I was doing. I thought I needed those things to, like, it was part of me. And this comment says, my past and who I am. Who are you, though? Who are you? Like, this is the thing, too, is, like, in this moment, you're kind of just... And I guess you can kind of look at your history and be like, okay, and I definitely have a history. And it's like, apparently, I've done these things. And also, that's all backwards. That's all backwards. I'm just here now. And, like, what do we do with today? There's so much stuff I've, like, changed my mind about and just think differently about. Literally, actually, in the past few days, I had this weird thing where, like, I switched. So I used to, it was a struggle for me to just, like, eat. Not even properly, I guess eat. And so my habit, because I don't like making food and it's really hard, it's just difficult for me to do these things repeatedly because I guess it's hard for me to care enough about myself to do this. Anyway, what I found that works that I could repeatedly do, is I would get Starbucks in the morning for breakfast, because also you could do that on tour, and I could find it anywhere, and it was like kind of a routine. And so I'd get my coffee, and I'd get a couple food items in the morning, and then for dinner, I would eat like Five Guys for dinner, or a frozen pizza. And I've adjusted from that because I'm like, this is not... I found that, like, after doing a little bit of reading, well, I'd set up different goals for myself because I wanted to. Like, I had time, and I was like, well, what can I get out of life if I'm here? And I'm not trying to kick the can. Let's try and do something with it. And so I set up some different goals, and it's like, I want to be, like, a lean 160 pounds. So basically, like, I want to have, like... Yeah, just, like, decently muscular. Like, I don't know, I just want to, like, do this stuff. Anyway, so what I tried doing, and I found actually is, I put into like ChatGPT or that just different AIs. I put in what my diet was. I don't know if I said this a lot, but most of the evening. So I would eat out. I love Five Guys. I would do it like multiple times a week, or eat a frozen pizza, and that's what I could repeatedly do. I put my diet into the computer, and basically there's no way math-wise, based on, they call it macros, but like the amount of like protein and carbs and fat or whatever that you do, there's no way to do that based on what I'm eating. And so it's like, okay, the awareness is this isn't going to work. Like there's no way. It's kind of like when I figured out over time, getting 8 hours of sleep, apparently like my mood is generally, it kind of doesn't matter what happens. This has been a more recent one. If I get 8 hours of sleep, it doesn't matter what happens in the day. Things are generally pretty fine. Like they're kind of just chill. It's not like they're amazing, but like bad things can happen, like gnarly stuff, and I'll just kind of be like, all right, I can roll with things a lot easier, and I'm way less irritable if I get 8 hours of sleep. So then I was trying to do it, and this is going to sound so stupid. Okay, for a couple months, I was trying to get 8 hours of sleep, and I was like, it seems like it works when I do it, and I could never do it. I could never seem to like make, I got it maybe like 2 times out of a couple months, 2 or 3 times. And so then I was like, let's schedule out my day by the hours to see like what's going on. Why can't I do this? And then when I looked to schedule out my day by the hours, there wasn't, the way I scheduled out how I thought about it wasn't actually quite 8 hours to sleep at night. And it was like, oh, you can't sleep 8 hours in less than 8 hours. That's impossible. You can't do it. And a smarter person than me would have been able to see this much quicker or more aware. And for whatever reason, I can't see these things until I like see it clearly in front of me, where it's like, oh, you can't put 8 hours in less than 8 hours of time. So then at that point, once I knew, it's like, okay, you need to get to bed by this time if you want to get your 8 hour window. And maybe set another 20 minutes in front of it, like you gotta like try and get this in. And so it wasn't about motivation so much anymore, because I like having good days and I wanted to try having 8 hours. Yes, I know, I told you this was stupid. This is why I don't really like, hopefully this is entertaining, but this is what goes on in my brain, and this is why stupid shit just like carries on until I'm in, into my 40s and figuring out how to like do life good. Because I have to like spell it out in front of me, and I can't be told by anybody else. And that's what the app helps with. Is like, I get to like map out things and see things different. Oh, so like I've changed to like a different meal plan, and frankly the meal plan is stupid. Like there's no one that would be like, this is a good idea. And also, it works for now, and I can repeatedly do it. So like I eat a whole tray of raspberries. I like raspberries. I think that they're good, like not like a huge carton, but like a small one. And apparently they're a really good source of fiber. And I basically don't have to like, it solves my like sweet tooth need, where like I can deal with not having, that's basically my dessert at the end of the night. And so I have a whole tray of raspberries every night, and I like them. And other people think that's probably really stupid, and I don't give a shit. And also, it is really stupid. Like, who does that? I don't know. But it works for me. I can repeatedly do it. So I go and get 4 trays of raspberries at the time when I go to the grocery store. I eat it right now. I've been eating it, and I'm not going to do this for forever. But I was trying to like, basically I'm trying to eat in a calorie deficit so I can like be a little better. Someone else likes raspberries. I love this. That makes me feel, I don't know why it makes me feel better when someone else isn't all like me, but it does. So thank you. Oh, but I'm doing these things now, and like just mild adjustments help me. Well, I get a little more functional at life a little bit at a time. And if I was trying to like get to like fish fillets and eat broccoli and make like a perfectly done dinner, I would not, I would not do any of it. I would not do any of it because it's like I'm not. I just get overwhelmed really easily, and it's like, well, I'm just not fucking doing that. So I do it however I want to do it, and slowly, somehow, my life keeps getting better. My life keeps getting better, kind of on accident, and that's the cool thing about the app. That's the cool thing about it, is you can be a bum doing stupid shit, and things just keep improving. Do I do any supplements? Ashwagandha, I don't know how to say that. Mushrooms, apple cider vinegar. Okay, I do supplements, and I did these. I'll make a video about this later, but I can tell you, so I do supplements. And the reason I do them is because when I started working out like 4 or 5 years ago, badly, however I started doing it, I ended up, I'm like, okay, well, how do you do this good? Anytime I want to learn a thing, it's like, let me just get like 4 or 5 books on it. Usually one of them is good. The other 4 are stupid. And so anytime I've learned anything, I've done this for apps, I've done this for whatever I want to do. Buy 4 or 5 books. Most of them are trash. One of them is good. The book I used that made sense to me to help me like understand my body and get a little bit better in shape was called Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. I think it was by Michael Matthews. And he just explained everything the best way, in the most basic way, where he's like, you probably don't like gyms, gyms suck. And I'm like, yep. And he's like, yeah, there's lots about that this is stupid and it's not that good, but there's a really basic way you can like do good things and feel good about yourself. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's try that. All this to say, he has a company called Legion Supplements or Legion Athletics. And he seemed to like care a lot about like what he's putting into those products. And so I just do the things he has all kinds of supplements, but I would just do the basic. They have like a men's multivitamin, fish oil. I do take, and then I take a post-workout creatine thing. Those are all from Legion. And I only take, actually I've started doing the post-workout creatine thing regardless of if I work out or not, because apparently creatine's good for your brain, is what they're supposedly finding. And so I take those, and then I also take a magnesium. I take 1 magnesium. Again, I'm starting to bore myself talking about this, frankly, but magnesium, and then what's the other thing? Oh, I also take, it's supposedly like a testosterone booster, just because like I'm an insecure dude, and I'm like, what if the reason my life is bad is because my chemicals are off, and I'm like losing my edge or something. Hi, weird thing to be sharing while people are joining on. Anyway, and so it's some type of like natural, I think it may have like, what's that thing you said? Ashwagandha thing in it or whatever. I'll find out what that is. I think it's called like Alpha Squad or Alpha something. Anyway, so some type of like testosterone booster. That's it though. And I take those after I work out, and that's kind of my habit thing where if I work out, I take that stuff. That's how I also get my water intake up. There's a comment that says, I think I'm the only one in the comments who doesn't eat that healthy. I don't know if you were around and listening for how, yeah, I do not eat healthy. Well, I'm eating better. I'm eating better than what I used to eat. And this is the thing too, is like, okay, so eating 1.5 pounds of chicken nuggets for dinner, yes, I know. And people are like, you do grilled ones though, right? And I'm like, at some point maybe I'll do better. But I do know that 1.5 pounds of chicken nuggets and a thing of raspberries is better than going to Five Guys with like the gluten and bread and stuff like that. Not that gluten's necessarily bad, but it seems to be affecting me badly. And I know it's better than eating a whole frozen pizza. And you know what? I know that Five Guys and whole frozen pizzas and Starbucks was better than chain smoking cigarettes and eating honey buns and eating a whole pack of like Milano cookies from the 7-Eleven. So I went from eating all my food from the 7-Eleven convenience stores to eating like fast food, and then I guess like decent. I do think Five Guys is. I like Five Guys. I think I still like Five Guys. I haven't had it in a few weeks, but I moved up from there, and it's like, is this ideal? No. Is it better than what? Is it better than what I would be doing otherwise? And the answer is like a hard yes. And again, that to me is the cool thing about the app, is where even me gets to be able to do things and have a good life. And I'm not even good at this. I'm not good at this. Actually, even making the app and building that out and getting this done is because of Good Day Recipe. The fact that I've been able to do any of this, like, I'm such a messy person. The way I do life is, I would never want to show anyone. And also, it's like, oh, this is doable. This is actually doable. If I could get their comment says Five Guys sponsorship coming, I need to add this to like my Instagram thing. I actually haven't had one. They've made so much money off me. Starbucks and Five Guys have made a lot of money off of me. A lot of money. Maybe that's a lot of people. This comment says, since you mentioned nuggets, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, Asian food, especially their Asian nuggets, are very good. I don't even know what that is. I'll have to check that out. I check things out really slowly. Like, if 6 people recommend something to me, that's when I get to it. It usually takes me like 3 times of a movie or TV show or book. I write them in my notes because I forget everything. And yeah, write. And once it shows up like 3 or 4 times, then I'll make it happen. But this is my favorite thing, and it seems like even about like life. Oh, actually, another thing of recent things: cold showers. Psychotic. Stupid. No one. I can't recommend cold showers to other people because I think it's some like psychopathic behavior. And also, when I try it out, I get happier. Like straight up, and it's not like happy like I'm like positive. It's actually like it's like me being 8 or 9 years old and going outside during summer vacation, like first day of summer vacation, and I go outside in the morning, and it's like, okay, what are we going to get into? Like, where we're going to go we're going to go ride our bikes over to back in the woods behind this development and like build ramps that we're going to be doing. It's like that fun energy apparently somehow is connected to cold showers for me. And I hate doing it every morning. Every morning I don't want to do it, and I'm like, this is retarded. This is so, we're just going to leave that there and keep moving on. But this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I don't know why anyone does this. And then once I do it, I'm like, all right, let's go outside and play. Today's going to be a good day. So, but I can't recommend them because they're miserable. And I think it's just crazy behavior. There's a comment that says, what have you been watching lately? Do you know, so I don't really watch, I watch almost nothing except Instagram Reels sometimes. It's really hard to like not watch things when I'm posting things. What I've been watching, so some of the times I'll watch stuff if my brain really needs a break is when I eat my 1.5 pounds of chicken nuggets a night during my dinner. I've been going back through, I just started Party Down again. I don't know if you've seen it. It was kind of like, I guess, a cult classic TV show at this point. The thing that's nice about it is it's so LA. It's almost like just I can turn off my brain and like hear my friends talk. Because it's just like gig work in LA. And it's funny. It's got a lot of people in it. This comment says, if you want, I can recommend a very easy recipe you can make. It's not Asian. You can tell how I feel about that by how I read that. Rain check on that. I appreciate the intent of it so much. Right now, I have a very basic, tenuous system that's barely sticking together. So we're just going to stay. I'm going to stay here at this point. Oh, Party Down. Party Down. Someone said they haven't heard of it and they're going to watch. Yeah, it's probably like 15 years old, but it has Adam Scott and it's got a lot of like writers. Jane Lynch is in it and she's amazing. That's maybe my favorite role with her in anything. I think the guy's name is Martin Starr. He was in like Freaks and Geeks and Silicon Valley. I rewatched through Silicon Valley, or at least, I think all of Silicon Valley a couple months ago. I like that one. I like to be able to turn my brain off and just have a few minutes where I can like laugh at things. Yeah, Party Down is, I recommend it. I think that's a good one. Okay. I think I'm done with my walk for the day. I may do a little bit more live streaming, but it's boring as shit because I'm just talking to a computer or working on one. Thanks for joining me. And let me talk about everything. Jennifer Coolidge, she basically replaces Jane Lynch in the second season. And she also does a great job. Jane Lynch is amazing, though. What up, Jesse? Amazing, though. Okay, I need to get to the rest of my stuff. Thank you for keeping me company. I kind of was like, maybe I shouldn't even like do the walk today because it's late, and I'm really glad I did. So I hope y'all have an excellent day. Check out the app if you haven't. It helps. Actually, I don't know if it will, but I'm pretty sure if it helps a bum like me, you may find it useful. And yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it with that. See y'all. Take it easy.